What's up, everybody? I'm going to kick this video off with a pop that I've shared several times on my channel because it is my favorite pop in my collection. It's also my most valuable pop, and this is the original Notorious B.I.G. pop. Now, I've shared the story previously, but I'll tell you all again quickly. I was able to get this pop early on in collecting, basically with the help of a friend, Anthony Nelson. He is a YouTuber. He hasn't done YouTube in a while. He has a lot of other things going on in his life, but he said he may come back to YouTube eventually. But yeah, he basically helped me to get this pop, and then I paid him back with pop figures over time. So, you know, to this day, I'm still very appreciative of that, because when I first started collecting and I started checking out, you know, different pops that I could possibly add to my collection, I didn't realize how many different characters and celebrities there were as Funko Pops. And when I came across Notorious B.I.G., I was just blown away that a pop of him actually existed. And then I saw the price tag, and at the time the price was like a third of what the value is now, and it was just still way beyond my budget. But I really wanted to get the pop eventually because I'm just a huge fan of Notorious B.I.G. Okay, and this is a very cool pop. It's never been out of the box, and probably never will be. I'm keeping it in the box even for this particular video. But you know, this is a very slick pop of him in the white suit there. And of course, you see the artwork there on the back, him rocking the crown, which is kind of funny because that's another pop that I have here. Okay, so this is very cool. I'm very glad still to have this in my collection, and I've said it before also that if I ever were to stop collecting, this would be the one pop I still would make sure I keep, even if I got rid of everything else, you know. But yeah, this pop is very important to me because Notorious B.I.G. was a big inspiration to me, and really he still is. And it's mainly because of just how versatile he is as an artist. I mean, especially when you look at his second full-length album, the double album, Life After Death. There are so many songs on there, again, because it was a double album, and yet from track to track, he's just showing so much versatility with his flows, with his writing, his delivery. I mean, it's just amazing, and that really inspired me as a writer. Now, when I was younger, for a while, I did used to write raps for fun, and even my poetry that I write sometimes sounds like rap. So, yeah, just the versatility is what really inspired me, and just the way that he carried himself. And he was not a perfect man by any means, you know, nobody's perfect, but still, he had the swagger about him and that confidence about him that I think you just have to have, especially through your artistry. So, yeah, I really appreciated him in that way, and like I said, he still inspires me to this day. And I do have here the most recent Notorious B.I.G. pops. Okay, so both of these here are common figures. Okay, and actually I just realized the numbers here. This is 78 and then this is 77 here. Didn't realize that before. I usually don't pay attention to the numbers on the pop figures, but yeah, these two are very awesome figures. And when I heard there were possibly, you know, new Notorious B.I.G. pops on the way, I got very excited about that. And we actually will take a look at these. I will get them out of the box here in just a moment. Something else that stands out to me about Notorious B.I.G. is those of you that are big fans of music, I think you know that when you feel like you discovered an artist or a band, it just makes them feel even more special to you. So when I was younger, I used to listen to the radio, especially late night on the weekends, and DJs would be playing these different mixes, and they would play a lot of songs that they wouldn't typically have on the radio. And I remember one night I was listening to this mix, and all of a sudden I just heard this voice that immediately grabbed my attention. And yeah, and I knew nothing about the guy. The voice immediately grabbed my attention, and I was listening to the lyrics and everything, and I was like, this guy is super talented. And it turned out to be Notorious B.I.G. And this pop of him is very cool. Actually, this outfit, you've seen this before if you watched his videos. He actually wore something very similar in the Juicy video. But the song that I actually heard was Unbelievable by Notorious B.I.G. So this was actually before Juicy was even out as a single. So that's why I had no idea who he was at the time. But then once Juicy dropped, and then I got to hear his first album, Ready to Die. Yeah, I realized, I'm like, okay, this is the guy. And I'm like, wow, he really is amazing, you know, as an artist. So, yeah, the details on the pop, very cool. Of course, he wore shades a lot. you know, and he would wear, you know, some pretty pricey shades and everything. And he's got the Jesus piece on there, gold piece around his neck, got the mic in hand and everything. Like, yeah, the bandana has even a little detail to it, which looks pretty slick. Yeah, this is a very good representation of Notorious B.I.G. So yeah, they did a great job with it. Of course, the Timbs were a big thing during that time period, and I mean, you know, Timbs are still kind of a big thing, especially in New York. But yeah, this is a very cool pop figure, and it's really cool that they made a common figure of Biggie. But yeah, like I said, just feeling like I discovered his music, that made it even more special to me, you know, that I discovered him before he really blew up as an artist. Also, Notorious B.I.G. is very important to me because I just have so many memories attached to his music. Hanging out with my friends, traveling, going different places. I mean, there's just a lot of really good memories attached to his music. Like, his music would be playing, or I'd be playing his music, you know, when things were going on. Like I said, taking trips and, you know, just like when I would go hang out with my friends, like skating ring, parties, whatever. Yeah, his music was just always around because he was so popular. So yeah, just very nostalgic about, you know, his music. And this pop here, of course, he's rocking the crown, which is very significant because he had that whole King of New York thing going on, which he would call himself, one of his aliases was Frank White, which is actually a character from a movie called King of New York, which if you've never seen it, it's really it's a very interesting crime thriller, I guess you would say, because I mean, it's so different from other crime thrillers. It stars Christopher Walken as Frank White. Also Lawrence Fishburne is in it. I believe, I'm trying to think of the actor's name. Kind of drawing a blank on it right now, but I know there's some other big names in it. Oh, I think I feel like Wesley Snipes might be in it as well. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's a pretty amazing cast and just a very interesting movie. So yeah, you know, Notorious B.I.G. would make references to that movie, and like I said, he kind of took on that Frank White King of New York persona. And yeah, this pop here has some details that are somewhat similar. I mean, of course, he has the Jesus piece on there again, but the crown is definitely what's most significant. That's probably his most famous picture. And I love that they used that in Luke Cage, both season 1 and season 2. They had that painting of Notorious B.I.G. in the background, and they really used it as a story element. I thought that was very cool. You see here that Biggie has the cane. That was not like a fashion statement. He actually was injured in a car accident, which he did reference in at least one of his songs. But yeah, and they depict that within the Notorious movie as well. But yeah, this pop here also very cool, very slick. We're not done here because I got contacted via my email address, and normally my email address is set up for certain things, but you know, sometimes people will send me other messages and I'll see what they have to say. So this message came from a viewer named Keegan, and he's basically expressing his appreciation for the channel, and he said that he wanted to do something for me. Now, when people say that they're going to send something my way, I try not to get my hopes up too much, just because I have had people kind of flake on me in the past, and I don't really sweat that because it's not like people have to send me anything anyway. But like I said, you know, because that has happened in the past, people have flaked on me. I try not to get my hopes up. But Keegan absolutely came through. He sent me 2 amazing pops. I'm only going to share one of them right now. But you all, please help me to give Keegan his props for being so kind and for sending this awesome pop my way, which he totally did not have to do. I mean, it's amazing how this community can be, and that this community crosses borders and crosses countries and everything as well. You know, because he is a viewer from outside of the US. He's actually from Australia. So if you haven't guessed by now, I mean, you should know what pop I'm holding in my hand right now. So this is a very awesome gift from Keegan. Like I said, I'm going to share one of the pops that he sent me right now, and then the other one I'm holding off because it kind of fits in with some other pops that I have on the way. But let's go ahead and check this out. A pop that I really didn't think I was going to be able to get. We have here the Fall Convention exclusive, or Toy Tokyo exclusive, Notorious B.I.G. with crown. Yeah, and he did put this one in a protector, and I'm going to go ahead and leave this one in the box right now. Very awesome figure here. Of course, this one is similar Very similar to the common figure there of him with the crown, but the jacket is red, which based off of images that I've seen, I know that Biggie actually did rock a red jacket in that style, so I think this one is truer to life. And him having the shades on also I think is truer to life as well, because he did wear the shades very often. So yeah, those little details, I think that makes this one a little bit more accurate. They're both very cool pop figures, don't get me wrong, they're both very cool, but yeah, I really do like this. And you know, for those of you that pay attention to numbers, you see that this one is number 82 here. But yeah, like I said, Keegan really came through, and I just wasn't going to stress over this pop. New York Comic Con in general, and really conventions in general, I've been kind of backing down on them some. And it's partly because I just see how much people in the community get stressed, and I just really don't want to stress. I want to enjoy collecting. So when it comes to conventions, I just have that attitude that if I get certain pops, cool. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. But now that I have this one in hand, I am so grateful to have this, because I mean, this is just incredible. You know, I have here 4 of the 5 Notorious B.I.G. pops that exist. Now there is one other one. It is a metallic variant of the original Notorious B.I.G. and I don't think I'll be adding that one to the collection. That price is insane. Like, I for real would have to hit the lotto before I would buy a pop like that, and even then I probably still would feel guilty for spending that much money on a pop figure, you know. But yeah, so to have these 4 here though is just incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So you know, at the beginning of the video I was talking about how, you know, if I ever stopped collecting, if I ever got rid of my pops, I would make sure that I hang on to that original Notorious B.I.G. pops. You know, same is true for these others that I have here now. I definitely would keep these together, because like I said, Notorious B.I.G. has been a big inspiration to me, and I'm just really grateful to have these in my collection now. And I'm, you know, partly have them in my collection thanks to community members, which is very awesome. But yeah, thank you all so much for checking this out, and I'll talk to you all again real soon.